Every year there's one game. You know what I mean. The game everybody's gotta get. Toonami got a hold of this year's version. Final Fantasy VII. It's the latest in Squaresoft's Final Fantasy series. The storyline covers 3 CDs, over 30 cities, hundreds of characters, and thousands of different environments. You'll get hooked right away. The story centers around one guy, but you've got 9 to choose from. And you've never had a battle experience in an RPG until you played this game. Believe me, we're talking magic summoning spells, special skills, tons of weapons, everything from the Knights of the Round Table to the devil himself. Finally, you've got incredible, fully rendered cinemas for over 30 minutes of moving video. One thing, though, this game is a long haul. 4 different vehicles, secret battle arenas, games within games, monsters coming out of the woodwork. More bosses than you even want to think about. We're talking 40 hours minimum. If you want to see the whole game, get yourself a guidebook and you'll end up with about 90 hours. It's 1,800 megs of pure entertainment. Bottom line, Toonami gives Final Fantasy VII 5 out of 5. As close to perfect as it gets. This is the one by which all other RPGs will be judged. A must-have for any self-respecting gamer. Take it from us, believe the hype. I'm out of here. Here's an example of how a sequel can be better than the original. Cool Borders 2 takes the best from the first game and adds a whole lot more. 4 different riders, couple of different ways to play. Half-pipe contest, big airs, freestyle race, and a way to practice all the jumps and grabs. When you've got your skills together, take them to the competition. 2 big airs figured pole position, then it's on to the border cross. Toonami gives Cool Borders 2 4 out of 5. Not the greatest game ever made, but pretty high on entertainment value. Toonami's been light on the sports games so far. Hadn't found one with the right feel. Recently, we came across Hot Shots Golf for the PlayStation. Not your typical plaid pants, button-down shirt kind of golf game.
Nice shot.
It's the little things that make this one good. You have 10 different players to tee it up with, 6 different links, but you have to earn them. You start with 2 players and win new ones in one-on-one match play. You also have to earn tour points in order to qualify for the harder courses. Toonami gives Hot Shots Golf 5 out of 5. It's an honest day's play for an honest day's work. Terrorists have taken over a secret military installation. They have nuclear warheads and a list of demands. The government has a retired special operative. Code name, Solid Snake.
This is Snake. You hear me loud and clear.
Metal Gear Solid is the best PlayStation game so far.
Starting to feel a little scared.
It has it all. Terrorist activity, secret operations, and a lone gunman, and that's before you even get started. Infiltrate a top-secret base and get past enemy forces. The word here is stealth. You're actually rewarded if you don't eliminate them.
Don't move!
But some situations call for a more direct approach. It's a one-man mission, but you're not totally alone. Toonami gives Metal Gear Solid 5 out of 5. Lives up to the hype. Happy sniping. I know this may seem like a conflict of interest, but that giveaway was a while ago. So let me say these 3 words. Beetle Adventure Racing. It combines the intricacies of a good driving game with a mindless destruction that everyone appreciates. But you don't get all the goodies up front. They make you work for them. Winning races opens up new tracks and more cars. The competition gets better too. You can't be afraid to put somebody into the wall. Toonami gives Beetle Adventure Racing 5 out of 5. When two paths diverge in a wood, take the one less traveled by.
The battle for the future is on, and the universe is getting crowded. Thought we could help. Checked out Starcraft and the expansion set Brood War for the Mac. The name of this game is real-time strategy. You play one of 3 races. The Terrans, that's you. The Zerg, an evil insect horde. And the Protoss, the most technologically advanced of the 3. Don't play favorites. No one race is better than any other. Mine crystals and gas to build up the right stuff. Then when you got an army, attack.
Your forces are under attack.
I'm about to drop the hammer!
Don't just run in blind. You'll regret it. Gotta use your units to your advantage.
The reinforcements already in transit.
This is a thinking man's action game with all kinds of fighting.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
From epic battles to search and destroy missions.
Go, go, go!
There's over 60 missions between the 2 games, with a huge storyline that'll keep you guessing. Don't sleep on the multiplayer. You and up to 6 other people can go up against the computer or fight each other online to see who's got skills. Starcraft is one of the deepest games we've seen, and certainly the best tactical warfare game ever made. We give Starcraft for the Macintosh 5 out of 5.
All for the Empire.
Heroes aren't born, they're made. It's time to talk Dreamcast. You've already got one system, folks don't want to shell out for another. We got a couple of launch titles and sat down to see what's good.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ready to Rumble brings back punch-out memories. If you want to max this game, get a friend and beat the crap out of each other.
Better stay down.
Air Force Delta is a good fight sim and shooter combo. You're a merc hired to fight a secret war. The more enemies you shoot down, the more cash you get. Tokyo Extreme Racer. You love it or you hate it. I love it. You really chew up some scenery. NFL 2K, the best looking football game ever.
The snap!
Sonic Adventure looks truly amazing. Bunch of characters, million levels.
Yeah, this could be fun.
House of the Dead 2 isn't for the squeamish. This is straight from the arcade.
Dogs of the AMF.
Don't kill me!
Nothing new, but it's always fun blasting zombies.
How could anyone do this?
All the games are really good, except we have to diss Blue Stinger. Avoid it like the plague. Dreamcast has got a bunch of good games and a few great ones. This is only the beginning. Get on board if you know what's good for you.
Kids love it!
Alright, you'll want to sit down for this. The Dreamcast finally came out. You checked out Soul Calibur from Namco. Graphically, this blows away the arcade version. Your eyeballs are gonna burn. There are 20 fighters, 10 of them secret. To get them all, you gotta battle in the mission mode. They give you a job, you take care of it. It's packed with all kinds of extras. Check out the pictures in the art gallery. Or go 8 versus 8 in team mode. This is one of the best fighters we've ever seen.
Battle 1, fight!
Visually, it blows away any other fighting game. And it takes forever to master every character's move. Toonami gives Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast 5 out of 5. The soul still burns.
The legend will never die.
Time for round 2 in PlayStation's Metal Gear Run, VR missions. More training exercises like last time, but now it's kicked up a notch. Battle inanimate and moving objects. Solve problems and avoid detection. Earning the right to face live targets. That may not seem like much at first, but it's packed full of goodies. 300 levels if you go all the way. Toonami gives VR missions 4 out of 5. Heavy sniping. knockdown, drag out. And what do we got here? Oh yeah, Ehrgeiz. New fighting game from the makers of Final Fantasy VII. It's a fully three-dimensional fighter with open environments, 14 fighters, 6 of them from Final Fantasy. If you ever wanted Cloud vs. Sephiroth rematch, it's right here. There's also some mini-games, hidden characters, and an RPG mode. It all ends up pretty nicely. Toonami gives Ehrgeiz for the PlayStation 4 out of 5. Stand up and fight like a man. Want to get off the porch, run with the big dogs? Then get yourself a copy of NBA 2K for the Dreamcast.
Rips it down.
Same people who made NFL 2K. This time they got everything right.
The Raptors get the first possession of the ball game.
Pick your favorite NBA team. Play an exhibition game, whole season, or just practice your jumper.
Williams is shaking up out there, Rod.
Either way, there's no better looking or playing basketball game.
Here it is.
As perfect as they come.
Yes, he is a scoring machine out there, Rod.
Toonami gives it 5 out of 5.
Half man, half amazing.
Yes, in the face. If there's one thing Dreamcast can do, it's sports games. If you thought NBA and NFL 2K were sweet, you gotta check out the new guy, NHL 2K.
Hello and welcome to what promises to be an exciting night.
Even if you're not a hockey freak, this game is worth the effort.
They score!
All the teams, all the players, all the arenas.
Welcome to the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia.
Even banners in the rafters and old school unis. Challenge yourself according to your skills. Change out lines, control the goalie, or just plug in and bring the love.
Listen, got level.
Toonami gives NHL 2K 8 out of 10. Lace them up.
There are a bunch of skating games out there, but only one Tony Hawk. Pro Skater 2 picks up where the first one left off. Not the same old story, though. New skaters, different spots. And more tricks. There's a catch. You've gotta buy them. Be prepared. It's no easy ride. Tackle some new objectives. Make a skater from scratch. Or your very own park. Pro Skater 2's not perfect, but the best skateboard game around. Toonami gives it 9 out of 10. Wallows was rad, huh? Well, it's been a year since we talked about Dreamcast hoops. Just got a copy of NBA 2K1. This game looks good. Once again, every player's here and you got all the trades. Gameplay-wise, not much has changed. Taking it to the hole got a lot harder. The computer isn't cheap D.
It's loose. Picks his pocket.
On the plus side, there's better passing. Alley-oops aren't a gimme anymore.
Garnett can't finish the alley-oop.
Also, they added all my favorite blacktop courts, playable right off the bat. It's definitely harder now. It's still the best game in town. Toonami gives NBA 2K1 for Dreamcast 9 out of 10. It's old school. It's been a long time since we saw my man Mario in an RPG, but he's back in style. They're calling this one Paper Mario for obvious reasons. Basically, Bowser stolen Princess Peach and you have to save her and you know the rest. Not the deepest game, but man, it's fun if you can get down with it. Each boss is like a puzzle that has to be unlocked. Eventually, you get enough star power to take down Bowser in his own grid. Toonami gives Paper Mario for the N64 9 out of 10. Every now and then, you want a game you don't have to think about. ATV Offroad Fury gets the job done. No backstory. Sit on an ATV and ride. The physics of this game are really good. Just like real racing, without a whole game. Toonami gives ATV Offroad Fury for the PS2 8 out of 10. Eat dirt. With all the high-tech games these days, here's one to take you back. Metal Slug X. Not real sure, but I think you're fighting enemy soldiers who team with aliens and get double-crossed by zombies, but whatever. This game's all about explosions. Buildings, tanks, mummies, you name it, you can blow it up. It's only about an hour's worth of destruction that continues. But man, oh man, what an hour. Toonami gives Metal Slug X 7 out of 10.
Mission all over.
Mission all over, indeed. Been a while since we played a really fun racing game, so we checked out Rumble Racing for the PlayStation 2. Think Mario Kart meets Gran Turismo with a little Tony Hawk thrown in, and you get the idea. The more tricks you pull off, the faster you go. Grab power-ups to slow down your opponents. The tracks are designed for maximum fun. You also get to select from 36 cars, most of which can only be unlocked in the single-player mode. Check the two-player co-op for some real craziness. Some drawbacks? The game's too short. Man, in the later levels, the computer is so cheap. All in all, Rumble Racing is a tight little game that should keep you busy until Gran Turismo 3. Toonami gives Rumble Racing for the PlayStation 2 an 8 out of 10. Drop the hammer. Found a game that might be below the radar for some. Ico for the PlayStation 2. Ico's a puzzle game, but it's not just the puzzles that make it great. It's the overall environment. You control Ico, a boy with horns, and literally lead a young girl, Yorda, around by the hand. You're a team, though. She opens magic gates blocking your way. You help her get around obstacles. Ico's not the only one interested. Mess around too long, and it's all over. Sounds pretty simple, but it's not at all shallow. Every aspect of this game is among the best around. The only downside is it's short, only about 7 hours. Toonami gives Ico for the PS2 9 out of 10. Young love with horns. Can anyone make a good reboot of an old game? I thought maybe, so I checked out SpyHunter for the PS2.
Begin operation.
All the stuff from 83 is in there. Machine guns, missiles, smoke screens, one fat ride. 14 levels give the game enough depth to keep you occupied. It's a little short, but for a while there, it's a lot of fun. Toonami gives SpyHunter 7 out of 10. The old school's in session. You've all heard of a little game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Volume 3 just hit the PS2, so I picked it up and started going off. Best Tony Hawk yet. Fans of the last two know that's high praise.
Sweet!
Everything's been revamped. Create your own skater or choose from 13 favorites. Outfit your skater down to the color of his glasses. Pick a deck and start soul skating. Attention to detail makes this game great.
Hey!
9 huge levels, all packed with goals and secret areas. Trick-wise, it's open season. Any trick you can think of, you can do.
Tear it up!
Just make sure you get their stats up to par. Of course, combos remain essential. Even the level editor's been beefed up, and they threw an internet play for good measure. All in all, you can't ask for more than this. Toonami gives Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the PS2 10 out of 10. Flip you for real. Finally saved up enough credits to squeeze a new system into the mix, so I checked out Pikmin for the Nintendo GameCube. It's a strange one, but really addictive once you get into it. Here's the deal. You crash on a strange planet, scattering pieces of your beloved spaceship, the Dolphin, all over. You got 30 days to collect 30 pieces and get out of Dodge. On the first day, find and pluck your first Pikmin, and it's on. They come in 3 varieties. Red are fireproof, yellow gather bombs, and blue can swim. Very useful indeed. Sun up to sundown, you command your posse of Pikmin around the planet, gathering ship parts, battling enemies, and dragging your defeated foes back to make more Pikmin. Better get them all in before sundown, though. With its bright cartoon-like graphics and smooth gameplay, its only shortcoming is that it's too short, about 16 hours in all. Toonami gives Pikmin for the GameCube 9 out of 10. Pick your squad and roll deep. Don't know about you, but I like racing games. Burnout's out for all the systems, so we took a look. Race around, open up new courses, get new cars. But the real deal is the crashes. You're supposed to not crash, but come on. Downside is, it's short. Maybe just rent it. No matter how you check it out, this game's fun. Toonami gives it 8 out of 10. We're in rubber, baby. Been a while since we reviewed a Final Fantasy game. Let's not dwell on the past. Picked up Final Fantasy X for the PS2. Sit down, it's gonna take a while.
You don't want to move.
Anyone who's played a Final Fantasy game will be expecting big things. Well, it's all that and a bag of chips.
Here we go!
Won't spoil the story for you. Let's just say it's very long. Graphic-wise, it's everything you come to expect. You get 7 playable characters. The battle system's been totally revamped. Maybe the best one yet. Don't worry, all of your favorite monsters are back and look better than ever. Don't sleep on the secret summoning aeons.
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
And make sure you check the minigames, especially the Blitzball. Don't ask. Remember experience points? They're out the window. The new system involves spheres, ability points, and, you'll figure it out. This time the quest is shorter. Even with the extras, it will max out at 70 hours. Bottom line, it's the best looking Final Fantasy yet. Check it out before next year when the whole thing goes online. Toonami gives Final Fantasy X an 8 out of 10. Utter wizardry. Had this game a while now. Been playing some other stuff, but I keep coming back to FIFA 2002 for the PS2. If you played the other FIFA games, you know what to expect. But 2K2 blows them all away. You've got all the teams and all the clubs and all the land. A bunch of different setups, and you can open up new tourneys the more you win. What really makes this game good is the new passing system. It's pressure-based, so the game's all about the sweet touch. It takes a while to get good, but it's worth the wait. Toonami gives FIFA 2002 9 out of 10. Go! So after 2 years of hype, the Xbox is finally out. What's the verdict? Look at the evidence. We'll start with Dead or Alive 3. This is more like Dead or Alive 2.5. Anyone who's played this game before won't be in for any surprises. It certainly looks beautiful, and I dig the reversals, but not a lot of depth here. Dead or Alive 3 gets a 6 out of 10. Close, but no cigar. Now on to one of the biggest Xbox titles. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, sequel to Abe's Odyssey on the PS1. It's essentially more of the same, but the big news here is the Legion 3D. This time you use a new character, Munch, in conjunction with your old pal Abe. This is a great game, but it's a little long. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey gets an 8 out of 10. Finally, had to get him a race on, so I checked Project Gotham Racing, Xbox's answer to Gran Turismo. All I have to say about this game is kudos. Otherwise, it's a solid racing title, but nothing to build a franchise on. Gotta give this one a 7 out of 10. Nice try. Overall, the Xbox is a powerful machine. Besides DVD and video game capabilities, you can rip CDs and listen to your MP3s with any game. Looks like Xbox has come out of the gate pretty strong. Toonami gives the Xbox launch an 8 out of 10. Nice work, Mr. Softy. So, I got this weird little game called Mr. Mosquito for the PS2. You play a mosquito living in a house with 3 people. Your job? Suck their blood, of course.
Ow, it's so itchy.
Be careful when they get angry. They're a lot bigger than you are.
Useless!
Rent this one. You'll beat it in 2 hours. Toonami gives Mr. Mosquito for the PS2 6 out of 10.
Please enjoy your summer of blood-sucking.
Buzz, buzz. Summer's here. Time to hit the links. Got scared after the last installment, but the first one was so good, Hot Shots 3 deserved a chance. You know the drill. Start with a couple of guys, win more as you go, dominate the tourneys, reap the rewards. It's still the 3-step shot, but that's the only drawback. Physics are right on, even if the characters are a little off.
I knew I could do it.
This game is fun and a lot of it. Toonami gives Hot Shots 3 for the PS2 10 out of 10.
What?
Got 15 bucks burning a hole in your pocket? We did. Hooked up the Italian Job. It's based on an old Michael Caine movie. Check it out. Makes the game more fun.
Right, this is it.
Drive all over town, steal $4 million bucks, and don't get caught. Doesn't look that great, and it's kind of short. But for PS1 and on the cheap, it's pretty good. Toonami gives the Italian Job 7 out of 10. Smashing. Well, summer's officially here, and you know what that means. Blockbuster movie season. And with all the hype surrounding my favorite web slinger, I decided to check out Spider-Man for the PS2. Now, I've played movie tie-in games before. Pretty lame. But this one's different. You start off with basic skills, superhuman strength, speed, agility, and that tingling spider sense. You swing around skyscrapers, beat down gang members, and solve puzzles, all the while building your skills. It takes time to get used to the web slinging, but once you got it, it's on. The web controls are sweet. Tie-ups, domes, impact shots, set lines, and more. Gradually, you learn moves and combos worthy of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The game pretty much follows the movie to the letter, except there's more classic villains to battle like the Shocker and Vulture. Plus multiple aerial battles with Gotti, of course. So if you've ever wanted to do whatever a spider can, this one's for you. Toonami gives Spider-Man for the PS2 8 out of 10. Swing on, Spider friends. So I got this game for the PS2. It's called Dropship. The setup is, it's the future. You're part of a multinational anti-terrorist peace force. You pilot dropships and fighters on seek and destroy missions to protect ground forces, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't look too sharp, but it plays okay. Now here's the problem. I can't get beyond the 6th level. It's driving me nuts. I've played it like 9,000 times, and I can't... I mean, it's only the 6th level. I wanted to review the whole game, but... whatever. I don't even know what rating to give this game. I'll get back to you if I ever beat it. Maybe one of you guys can do it.
Tom?
Yo.
Have you played this game for the Xbox called The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind?
That's a long title.
What a terrific game. I can't put it down.
Really? What's the deal?
Well, it's a port of a huge PC role-playing game, the biggest I've ever seen. You can literally be anyone or do anything you want. Pick your sex, race, class, everything.
Sounds complicated.
It is. There's a main quest where you're some sort of savior, but there are also 400 mini-quests.
We've been expecting you.
There are realistic weather and lighting effects, and the continent you're on is so huge it will literally take days to get somewhere if your character's on foot.
Oh, what fun is that?
That's not the point, Tom. It's an incredibly realistic and detailed world.
Well, is the fighting fun at least? Because that looks really boring there.
Well, not really. That's one of the drawbacks. and it will take so long to finish the game, you might not care long enough to see the end.
I don't care right now.
Tom, how many of your games have I sat through?
Sorry, okay? So what would you give the game on a scale of 1 to 10?
A solid 8.
You heard her, guys. Toonami gives The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind for the Xbox an 8 out of 10. If you care.
Tom.
I've been playing a lot of driving games lately, but Stuntman takes a different approach.
Live twice. Scene 82. Take one. And action.
You play as a Hollywood stuntman who's assigned to different movies.
Under the moving truck.
The director shouts out what you need to do, and, well, you do it.
Swerve through the truck. Jump over the destroyed bridge. Jump out of the car.
Sounds pretty simple, but it ain't easy.
Through the roadworks. Into the train. Get to the flatbed.
Let me warn you, though, this game's not for everyone.
Cut. Get another vehicle ready.
You end up playing each level over and over,
Cut.
getting your timing down, and figuring out what to do.
Cut. Set them up again.
And the load times are unacceptably long. If you can handle the downsides, you'll love it. Otherwise, don't bother. Toonami gives Stuntman 8 out of 10. And action! Summer's almost over, but you can fake it with beach spikers for the Nintendo GameCube. Haven't hit the beach in a while, so I thought I'd spend some time with the girls this summer. First thing you do is create your own team of ladies. Pick the hair color, the costume, the country, and get rolling. You start with a CPU partner who's dumb as a rock, but as you play, you get points to add to her skills. Don't forget to encourage her when she does well. She digs that.
You're amazing.
Before you know it, you'll be spiking it with the best of them. And watch out for the Americans. They may be blonde bombshells, but those ladies don't play. This is a simple game, but there's something about it that grabs me. Check it out if you like volleyball, or if you're just into scenery. Toonami gives Beach Spikers for the GameCube a 7 out of 10. Girls, girls, girls.
Game over.
My favorite old school video game character is back, my main man Mario. You know I had to check out his newest adventure, Super Mario Sunshine. It's a GameCube game, of course. The big question is, how does it stack up to the last 3D Mario adventure, Mario 64? Let's get down to brass tacks. This game won't change the face of gaming like Mario 64 did, but don't sweat it. The magic is still in full effect. Mario Sunshine looks crisp and beautiful, with gigantic environments and eye-popping colors. Lengthwise, well, I haven't beat it yet. I've been playing for a long, long time. Let's leave it at that. The story is simple. Mario comes to an island with Peach for a little R&R. But when he gets there, he finds a lookalike's been tagging everything in sight, claiming to be him. Naturally, Mario picks up a crazy water cannon thing and starts the whitewashing. In other words, more of the same. Your favorite characters make appearances, the Toads, my personal favorite Yoshi, and a few others I don't want to spoil. As for the gameplay, if you've played any Mario games, you know the deal. Jumping, flipping, sliding, spraying, and of course, coins, coins, coins. I'm seeing coins in my sleep. Overall, I gotta say, I can't really find anything wrong with this game if you're a fan of Mario. It gets a little hard and a little long, but that's the deal with almost every Mario game, right? In short, it's old school goodness. Toonami gives Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube a 10 out of 10. Nice work, Mr. Mario. GameCube's been strong lately, so I gave Animal Crossing a shot. This is my kind of game. You just sort of hang out. You're on your own for the first time. The only hang-up is you're broke. So you gotta work off your debt to Tom Nook. He's a raccoon and all the people are animals, but trust me, it grows on you. You make a living running errands. Sometimes you get cash, other times stuff. Keep it, sell it, throw it away. Who cares? Decorate your house, make it bigger, get better stuff. Just like life, really. You can go fishing, donate to the museum if you want. The game plays in real time. When they say come back tomorrow, they mean come back tomorrow. You can fool time, but it's like you haven't been there in months. Mess around too much and Nintendo sends their muscle. You can visit a friend's town or fork and play in one town. Max the Game Boy Advance if you have it, but don't pick one up just for this. I don't know about playing this game for a year, but it's really fun. Toonami gives Animal Crossing 9 out of 10.
Monster attack is imminent.
I'm a big fan of giant monster movies, so I checked out Godzilla Destroy All Monsters for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, you can't expect much from a game like this, especially since all the other Godzilla games have been pretty awful, but I just couldn't resist. Basically, you get all the classic moves and sounds, pick up buildings, grab power-ups, and fight your way to a showdown with Mechagodzilla. All the while unlocking new arenas and monsters. By the way, Mechagodzilla is totally cheap. As far as fighting games go, this one is just so-so, but it looks pretty good. All I wanted to do was control Big G and cause mass destruction anyway, so mission accomplished. 11 legendary monsters, old school feel, and a whole lot of destruction. Toonami gives Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee a 6 out of 10. Button mashing fun. Well, the wait is over. The new Lord of the Rings movie is finally out. It was tough waiting a whole year, but I managed to pass the time with the Two Towers for the PS2.
The quest stands upon the edge of a knife.
This is yet another movie tie-in game, but this one's the real deal. We played the first few levels and scenes from Fellowship, and let me tell you, this one puts you right in mayhem from the get-go.
We must save everyone that we can.
Eventually, you can play as Aragorn, Gimli, or Legolas, and fight your way through the storyline of the Two Towers. Sounds pretty easy, but the sheer number of Sauron's minions is at times overwhelming. As the game progresses, the characters get power-ups and gain levels. You also unlock bonus clips and extras from the Two Towers movie. Survive the battle for Hornburg Gate, and you get a secret character and secret levels.
Your
With all this hack and slash action, it's easy to overlook how great this game looks and sounds. Almost seamless transitions between movie scenes and game scenes put you right in the action.
Get down that ladder before we're overrun!
Plus, the actual movie soundtrack goes a long way, especially in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie. The Dark Lord draws near. Toonami gives the Two Towers for the PS2 an 8 out of 10.
This land has changed.
Hello. I've been playing a little something on the side, and I thought I'd tell you all about it, without any comments from the gallery. It's called Lost Kingdoms for the Nintendo GameCube. You're a princess. That's right, a princess. And you're on a quest to save the 5 kingdoms from a deadly fog. Bear with me. Basically, it's an RPG, but you fight with cards. And that's really the best part. It's all about the cards. You can buy, sell, or transform your cards at Gerd's shop. And in a fight, it's just you and your cards. You can build decks for specific missions or dueling. Battles are in real time. Run out of or play the wrong card and it's game over. Between you and me, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. But keep it under your hat.
Well, I just got off the phone with our lawyer, and he said this isn't a conflict of interest. I'd heard of the show, so I checked out Dragon Ball Z Budokai for the PS2. If you're just looking for a great fighting game, you might not love this one. But if you're into DBZ and you got a little time on your hands, check it out. There's a tournament mode and head-to-head fighting, but the real deal is the story mode. You can play through the storyline from Raditz' arrival all the way to the final battle with Cell. Not the greatest fighting game around, but it's got the real voices from the show, and it's a must-see for any DBZ fan.
Oh, it's incredible!
Toonami gives Budokai for the PS2 7 out of 10. Blondes do have more fun. I haven't played too many Star Wars games. That's because it's hard to live up to the movies. But I'd heard good things about Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast for the Xbox, so I scooped it up. You start off as a bounty hunter investigating some strange events somewhere. Something to do with the Valley of the Jedi and the Remnant. Whatever, I'm down. The game's a pretty average first-person shooter until you get your lightsaber. From then on out, it rocks. As you progress through the story, you pick up Jedi powers like push, grip, force lightning, and my personal favorite, the old Jedi mind trick. It's a long game, and it gets very challenging at the end. But when you meet your first Dark Jedi and have your first duel, you'll be hooked. Overall, Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast is a little glitchy and doesn't look too good. But how can I not recommend a game where you get to roll with Luke and Lando?
May the Force be with you, Kyle.
Toonami gives Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast for the Xbox an 8 out of 10. Jedi. The Wind Waker, the first Zelda game for the GameCube, is out, and I dove right in. Long story short, you look like Link, and you're off on your adventure. If you're new to the Zelda world, you start off small and pick up stuff along the way. There's places to go, and people to meet. Dungeons to solve, and bosses to smash. Your conductor's baton, the Wind Waker, is the key to getting you through the game and around in your talking boat. While no man's an island, the whole world's an ocean. So you've got a sea chart and a bunch of other maps. But if you want to find everything, get yourself a guide and a sandwich, because you're in for a long haul. There's a ton of side quests. You gotta stop and smell the, well, everything. Overall, this game is fun and deep and looks great. Something for everyone. Toonami gives Wind Waker for the GameCube 10 out of 10. 16 years and going strong. If you're down with a program, you've already seen .hack sign right here. It was kind of confusing, but playing .hack Infection for the PS2 might fill in some of the gaps for you. It's a single-person RPG that simulates a multiplayer online RPG. Still with me?
Aura?
Anyway, you're still chasing after Aura and the Key of Twilight, but in this version you possess a special bracelet that allows you to hack monsters for treasure and gates for access to secret levels and dungeons.
That's a unique bracelet.
Careful though, if you rely too much on your hacking skills, you risk infection, game over. Make an effort to check out the bulletin boards and return friendly emails or you might miss out. Also, be nice to your in-game pals. You'll be spending a lot of time with them.
In case you're not aware of it, you're being very rude.
It's easy to get sidetracked in endless dungeons and side quests, and just when you think you got all the answers, they leave you hanging. Fortunately, .hack Mutation is out, so save your stats and use your character in Part 2. Toonami gives .hack Infection for the PS2 a 7 out of 10. Ride him, cowboy. We thought the last Star Wars action game was good, but we didn't know about Knights of the Old Republic. It's 4,000 years before the Star Wars movies, as the Jedi and Sith battle for the universe.
The Sith are threatening to overrun our position.
Destroy them. Destroy them all.
This game is huge, spanning 6 planets and around 50 hours if you max the side quests. There's a million of them. The story progresses through conversations, quests, and fights, all of which affect the path you take. Light or dark side, there's no right way to play.
The lure of the dark side is difficult to resist.
But be careful. Everything you do affects your force alignment. Did you say there are lots of fights? The combat is turn-based, but it feels real-time. And as you level up, you decide the special feats your character learns. It looks really great, especially considering how much stuff they crammed into it. There's also a big part we can't show you without ruining it, but trust us, you don't want to miss this one. I've never played a game this long and immediately started playing again. Toonami gives Knights of the Old Republic for the Xbox 10 out of 10. Impressive. Most impressive. Tiger rules the roost, even up here in space. So I had to check out the new Tiger Woods. The swing mode stays analog, but that's not all that sets this game apart. You make yourself, and I mean to a T. Play match play for the World Championship.
So close.
PGA Tour for a career. And reap the rewards. They've added a bunch of new courses and kept the old ones they made up. But between you and me, they should have left them out. Another new twist is you get sponsors the better you play, and get paid for using their stuff. Top to bottom, this game is tight. The one downside is there are no multiplayer tournaments if you don't go online. But hey, even the Mona Lisa's falling apart. Toonami gives Tiger Woods 2004 10 out of 10. Whoa! So the new ESPN Basketball came out. Hadn't checked it in a couple of years, so I picked it up to see how it's playing these days. It's pretty much the same game, with ESPN frosting on top. Pick any team you want and take them to the finals. Or draft your own dream team. There's a pretty decent street mode, and even a new mode called 24/7. Make a big man and take him one-on-one against different opponents around the world to build his stats. Spend most of my time on the season. There's a new difficulty setting called Superstar, but if you're even halfway decent, you'll still be killing it before long. They've also made the foul shooting more realistic. The downside? Not enough D. It's really, really easy to do this, and this, and this with anybody. Bottom line, Toonami gives ESPN Basketball an 8 out of 10. Anybody want to run? Lately, I've had a lot of sand in my joints. Must be from all that Prince of Persia I've been playing. It's pretty dope.
Shall I go on?
You start out as a young prince invading an Indian castle, but soon enough there's a bad guy, and the next thing you know, everybody turns into a zombie. From then on, it's just you, your dagger, and of course the princess. It's all about climbing and flipping and fighting, and more fighting. The coolest thing about this game is the way you can use your magic dagger to reverse time.
No, that didn't happen.
Make a mistake, just rewind. But beware, even with the dagger, this is a challenging game. It looks pretty good too. Check that out. Bottom line, Prince of Persia looks great and plays great, and anybody who's into platforming will love it. Toonami gives Prince of Persia for the PS2 a 9 out of 10. Arabian Nights. Well, they say all good things come in threes, except for movie tie-in games like The Return of the King. But I'm willing to look the other way. The movie is out, and you know what that means. The game is out as well. Get down! It's been a whole year since I played the Two Towers, but it was easy to slip right back into the battle for Midlands. This time I checked it out for the Xbox, which looks a whole lot better, but it's pretty much the same Lord of the Rings game as last time. A few added treats. The fun starts right where you left off, hacking and slashing your way through the endless stream of Sauron's hordes. There are a few variations, though. As you progress, 3 different story plots emerge, each having to be played by a pre-selected character. Defeat Gollum at Mount Doom, and you get secret characters and levels. You can also go back and play any level with any character, including hobbits. As before, you fight your way through the storyline, all the while getting power-ups, gaining levels, and unlocking bonus clips and extras from the Return of the King movie. It's always sad when a great franchise comes to an end, but at least with this one you can relive the action and go out with a bang. Toonami gives Return of the King for the Xbox an 8 out of 10.
Return to your master!
Well, I hadn't seen any cool titles for the GameCube in quite some time, until I came across a little-known game called Viewtiful Joe. It's your basic side-scrolling beat-em-up with many combos and power-ups, but it looks really sweet. You start off on a date at the movies, then all of a sudden the movie bad guy steals your girlfriend. You're pulled into movie land and gain superpowers as you go along. Slow-mo, walk speed, and zoom. Now all you have to do is get her back and save the world. No sweat, right? Wrong. Using combinations of your different powers at critical times and putting on a good show is where it's at. Style equals points, points equal power, and power equals domination. Life is beautiful, but pretty tough. In fact, I hate to admit it, but I had to switch over to kid level to work on my skills for a while. Oof. Joe's my type of guy. Has superpowers, eats burgers and fries for health, throws a mad beat down, and does it all with style. It's so fun, I'm even willing to let the red tights and pink cape slide. This time, Toonami gives Viewtiful Joe for the GameCube an 8 out of 10. Henshin a go-go, baby. around since way back. So when the new Hawk came out, we took a look. Whoa! This game's a little different than before. You start off as a scrub in Jersey, work your way through the story, and up the ranks. If you're hooked up online, you can map your face onto your guy, but we're just big fans of the Hulk. There are a few wrinkles this time around. You can get off your board, run around, jump on stuff, keep going off. The areas all feel real, so if you're into that kind of thing, you'll dig it. If you've never played Tony Hawk, welcome to the planet Earth. If you have, check this one out. It's solid. Toonami gives Tony Hawk Underground 9 out of 10. Don't look down.
Hello there. Tom's busy today, so he asked me to tell you about the game I've been playing lately. It's called Rez, and it's actually a few years old, but I've just recently rediscovered it. It's sort of a cross between a shooter and a music rhythm game. The story is, well, you're a virus of some sort, invading the mainframe of a computer. Sound familiar? Anyway, your task is to battle the mainframe's defenses and reveal the true being at her core. Yes, Rez is strange, but it's incredibly well designed. As you delve further and further into the levels, the amount of enemies on the screen intensifies to the point where you're almost creating a symphony of sound and color. It's like nothing I've seen before or since. All in all, Rez is too short. But with a concept this innovative, I can't complain. At this point, it's fallen so far off the radar you'll have to look online for it, and probably pay a pretty penny. But I still say it's worth it if you like a good Twitch game, or just some eye candy. Toonami gives Rez for the PlayStation 2 a 7 out of 10.
Boxing games have had a tough go of it lately, but Fight Night 2004 changes all that.
It's Fight Night, ladies and gentlemen!
You can play as a bunch of famous fighters, but making your own guy is really the only way. You won't get yourself spot on, but you can still have fun with it. Training is really the only downside to the game. You're locked into one type at a time, and it takes a while to get good. Other than that little annoyance, this game is tight. You work your way up the ranks while working some poor guy's face.
Man, what am I supposed to do with you? I ain't no plastic surgeon.
Actual punching is all analog, using both sticks and the shoulder buttons to rock combos and block barrages. This game is super fun, and you play it over and over. It's out for all systems, but on the PS2, Toonami gives it 8.5 out of 10.
This fight is over.
Ding ding. I'm a robot myself, but sometimes even I get the hankering to climb into a giant metal machine and blow stuff up. Front Mission 4 for the PS2 is a great way to scratch that itch. You play as two different teams of soldiers fighting to keep the world war from breaking out. The main thing that hooks you in this game is the battles. In fact, there's really not much else going on, but don't worry, that's a plus. It's all about building the best mechs, hooking up your pilots, and making your team more rugged than the bad guys, because you will be outnumbered. It gets down to a pretty insane level of detail. You can even tweak the color schemes to the mechs. I like jungle camo myself. By the end of the game, you'll be proud of your scrappy little team and their hard-won victories. Ouch. I ended up playing this baby for about 55 hours, so I sure got my money's worth. Might even go back and try it again. Toonami gives Front Mission 4 for the PS2 an 8.5 out of 10. Suit up. Has it been that long already? Spider-Man 2 is out in theaters, and that means the game is out as well. The PS2 version was pretty good last time around, but I went Xbox and checked out Spider-Man 2. There have been some major changes with this title, good and bad. First off, you roll GTA style through a full-scale monolith New York City, go wherever and do whatever you want. Pretty sweet. On the downside, the beatdowns are pretty boring. Character building errands hit the snooze bar. And it's pretty lame stopping the same petty crimes over and over. And sure, you can roll through the movie storyline in about 4 hours, but who cares? Web slinging's where it's at. This one's all about soaring through NYC as only Spider-Man can. The web controls are even tighter, giving you total control. All of Manhattan is one big playground, and I got game. So if you're a Spider fanboy or just a fan of the Big Apple, this one's for you. Toonami gives Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox a 7 out of 10. It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Well, since Astro Boy gets no love here in the States, I'm gonna give him one last shot. I've been playing Omega Factor for the Game Boy Advance, and just like the series, it's pretty cool. You start off fairly weak, but soon enough, all of Astro's powers are at your fingertips. Jet boosters, finger laser, arm cannon, machine guns, the works. Use your skills to beat down enemies, meet new friends, and get to the bottom of the struggle between robots and humans. The boss battles are huge and challenging, and for all you Tezuka fans out there, there's a list of classic characters to meet and collect as you go. For an old school 2D side-scroller, Astro is fun, looks nice, and has super smooth gameplay. Toonami gives Astro Boy Omega Factor a 9 out of 10. Who's your boy? Every once in a while, strange games from the land of the rising sun end up here. Katamari Damacy, or in Japanese, Clump of Souls for the PS2 is definitely one of them. It seems the king of all cosmos has destroyed all the stars in the universe, and guess who has to remedy it? It's all about rolling your Katamari around and collecting objects. Anything and everything can be rolled into a ball. The bigger, the better. Sounds strange? Well, it is, but it sure is fun. Crazy music tracks, quirky cutscenes, and simplistic gameplay make Katamari pretty addictive. Toonami gives Katamari Damacy for the PS2 a 7 out of 10. Keep on rolling. With all the great games out these days, it's easy to get caught up in epic adventures. But sometimes you just want action. And Alien Hominid for the PS2 delivers. There's not much depth to this one. You just run wild with your hominid and take out all sorts of enemies. FBI agents, KGB ops, Area 51 guards, and some huge bosses. Sounds easy, but your Twitch skills better be on time, because it takes mad maneuvers to stay alive. With 16 levels in all, Hominid is short, but extremely addictive. So if you're a fan of old school games like Contra or Metal Slug, this one's for you. Toonami gives Alien Hominid for the PS2 an 8 out of 10. Pain wears many hats. Few things in this world are as pure as one man punching another in the face. Which is why I was so excited when the new Fight Night came out. It's a little different than the first go-round.
Let's get going with round number 2.
You start out as an amateur. Now you can choose the training you want. But at the end of the day, it's still about bashing.
This is incredible. We're seeing a fight tonight.
They added a haymaker, and if you can't throw him, you will lose.
1, 2.
The biggest addition, however, is between rounds. As the cut man, you've got to take down swelling and stop bleeding to keep your bug in one piece.
We gotta get some of that swelling down on your left side.
Otherwise, you end up looking like this guy. Ouch. Fight Night's really fun, but it's too much about the haymaker.
Connects with a big right-handed haymaker.
And so it's either too hard or way too easy. But it's still the best boxing game in town. Toonami gives Fight Night Round 2 for the PS2 an 8.5 out of 10. Ding, ding. Well, it's springtime again. Down there, anyway. And that means baseball season. I know, baseball is boring. And baseball video games, even worse. But with no NHL playoffs, I had to check out MVP Baseball for the PS2. It's all here. Players, teams, stadiums, alternate jerseys, even minor league prospects. Even better, MVP looks and plays like a sweet sports game should.
He makes the diving stop.
And just when I thought I could actually play through an entire 162-game season, it all fell apart. I realized there is no season mode.
That's a strikeout.
You know, play your favorite team's scheduled games, playoffs, World Series? Nope, not here. Sure, there's Dynasty mode, but who wants to learn how to be a GM? And MVP points? Who cares? What a bummer. I have to admit, 2-player is fun, but without a season mode, 1 player strikes out looking. Toonami gives MVP Baseball 05 for the PS2 a 6 out of 10. Seems the grand old game is still just that, old. Man, do I like me some Legos. And you know I'm into all things Jedi. So when Lego Star Wars came out for the PS2, I just couldn't resist. As you might expect, the gameplay is pretty simple. With unlimited lives, run, jump, and use the Force to collect coins, power-ups, and solve puzzles. Play your way through episodes 1, 2, and 3 using your favorite Star Wars characters. Pretty cool. There are over 30 playable characters in all once you unlock them, and a few fun extras. Surprisingly, the scenes from episode 3 reenacted Lego style are a cool sneak peek of the latest movie. Sure, it's a kid's game, but the force is strong with this one. Toonami gives Lego Star Wars for the PS2 a 7 out of 10. You know you want to control Lego Chewie. Well, looks like you all got the memo about the last Katamari game. You know what that means. Sequel time. And the aptly titled We Love Katamari says it all. This time round, the king of all cosmos has decreed more planets and stars. And the adoring fans have all sorts of insane requests for Katamari action. So let's get rolling. Just like before, it's all about rolling the biggest Katamari. This time, there are more levels and some cool extras. The versus play is a little better, and co-op mode is fun, if difficult at first. You can also roll up your cousins to help you out, and don't forget the presents. Katamari's back with all its quirkiness intact, and I, for one, am glad. Toonami gives We Love Katamari for the PS2 an 8 out of 10. Sometimes more of the same is like a trusted old friend. Get on the ball. Every once in a while, a game comes along that you just can't put down. And for those about to rock, Guitar Hero for the PS2 is the one. I'm a sucker for peripherals, and this mini guitar is so sweet. So just grab your axe and let it rip. The more notes you can hit, the more star power you get, and then it's showtime. It starts off pretty easy, but each difficulty setting adds another key to your guitar. Soon enough, you'll be monkey pawing all over it trying to keep up. You get cash based on your performance, which in turn allows you to buy more songs, different guitars, and unlockable characters. With over 30 songs and everything from Helmet to Queen, you'll be rocking for weeks. Try and shred your way into the ranks of the guitar legends. You might look like a clown, but rocking out sure is fun. Toonami gives Guitar Hero for the PS2 a 9 out of 10. Don't fear the Reaper. Only Toonami. If you're one of the other 30,000 people who played Ico, then you probably know all about Shadow of the Colossus. If not, you missed out on a great game, and shouldn't sleep on this one. You play as a guy who has to defeat 16 Colossi in order to save your, I guess, girlfriend? The story's a little soft, but the visuals are far from it. Destructive simplicity meets immense landscapes. You're the winner for it. Basically, the game boils down to riding along your sword's path. Find the next Colossus in line, exploit its weak point, absorb the power, come back to the temple, and then start on the next one. Not too complicated until you come face to face with this. Or this. Colossus is pretty short. It probably won't take you more than 10 hours. But when you're riding on top of a 100-foot-tall giant or jumping out of the way of one of the smaller ones, you'll wonder how time flies. I felt a little bad for the Colossi. I mean, what did this guy do to me? But when the man says jump, you gotta say how high. Don't expect a lot to do. There aren't any side games or mini-boss fights. But that's what makes this game so great. It's all about you and the Colossus, fighting it out in this beautiful, huge world. Toonami gives Shadow of the Colossus for the PS2 a 9 out of 10. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Only Toonami, Cartoon Network. The bell is rung, and that means it's time for another round of the sweet science. Fight Night style.
The third round is underway.
Round 3 for the Xbox 360 is a sight to behold, and it's all about the graphics. There's no more display to show how tired you and your opponent are. Just look at his face. If the guy's dragging around the ring, he's in trouble. When it goes to slow-mo, that mug's about to go down.
Shot sends it crashing.
But watch out, you're never safe in this game. Just like the last version, the Haymaker's a little overused, but it's hard to argue with the results.
Wicked Haymaker Dropship!
Fight-wise, it's pretty unbeatable. Refighting classic fights is pretty fun too, especially when you get to bust Leonard in the face. Outside the ring is where the game falls a little short. There aren't any rankings really. It's all about fighting for the sponsorship, which is weak. Also, you can't choose a cut man, even though you could last time.
Keep that spelling down. I don't want to see too many more rounds like that.
And your trainer options are pretty limited too. Not bad enough to keep from playing it, but they'd better work it out for round 4. All in all, Fight Night Round 3 for the 360 is a great boxing game. We give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I like what I saw there.
You never got me down, Ray. Seems like I've been rating tunes for years, 10 to be exact, but I just had to see my girl on the 360, and let me tell you, it's worth it. Lara's back and looking better than ever. The story has something to do with investigating the death of your mother, a broken sword, and the legend of King Arthur. I know, totally ridiculous, but it serves its purpose as you travel to exotic locations, search for artifacts, and wipe out bad guys. Lara has some cool new gadgets too, plenty of hot lead, and the usual impressive acrobatics, which is good because there's lots of old school platforming and classic puzzles to solve. On the downside, battles are kind of easy and it's pretty short, only about 7 hours, which in my book really doesn't add up for the price. But on the other hand, the scenery sure is breathtaking. So as long as there are more tombs to be raided, Lara's still got my heart. Toonami gives Tomb Raider Legend for the Xbox 360 an 8 out of 10. Killing them softly. Only Toonami. Fall means back to school, and more importantly, back to college football. NCAA Football 2007 is out for the 360, and since I'm a junkie, I saddled right up.
And we are ready to go.
The graphics are amazing, and they've got new animations and all the bells and whistles, although the models do seem a little juiced up. This game's got all the teams, mascots, stadiums, everything's in this game, except for a few game modes. Dynasty mode's there, but it lacks some of the stats and in-depth play of before. The recruiting's a little different this year too. You've got to wow the players in season and set up official visits. A nice touch, but ultimately it could be more. Gameplay is really good. It seems a little harder to run the ball, but it's a little easier to pass.
First down.
All in all, it's a super fun game that seems like it'll be even better next year. Toonami gives NCAA Football 2007 for the 360 an 8 out of 10. It's trench warfare. Only Toonami on Cartoon Network. Star Wars is back again, and even better than before. The trilogy that started it all comes to the 360 courtesy of LEGO. Relive all the classic scenes from Tatooine to the Death Star, Hoth to Cloud City, and from Jabba's palace to the moon of Endor, and everything between. Gameplay is pretty much the same. Use your changeable cast of characters to defeat enemies, solve puzzles, and gather collectibles. This time around, they've added a few more extras, including a co-op mode, playable vehicles, and you can also mix and match LEGO pieces to make your own custom character. Pretty cool. Again, it's a kid's game, but this one's a must for hardcore Star Wars fans. And just like in the original films, it's all here. Han shoots first, Darth Vader has eyebrows, and yes, even the Ewok song. Ugh. LEGO Star Wars makes a triumphant return with the original trilogy, and on the Xbox 360, a galaxy far, far away never looked so good. Toonami gives LEGO Star Wars 2 for the 360 an 8 out of 10. Use the Force, Luke. Only Toonami. IGPX is over, but if you're still jonesing for more racing, Bondi's got you covered with a new game for the PS2, IGPX. Let's see what's under the hood. Well, there's a bunch of tracks, all the characters and mechs from the show, and a lot of new ones too. You start as Satomi all the way back in the IG3. After a few simulator races, you're off and running. It's more about the fighting than the racing. Pick a strategy according to who you're up against. Learn some combos and get with the beatdowns. Yeah, baby. Winning gives you points to upgrade your mechs. Different parts mean different attacks. When you make it to the IG1, it's all about speed mode. Power Satomi up when you get the warning and see if you can beat the other guy. Now for the bad news. The game's hard, but it's pretty short. You can probably beat the whole thing in a few sit-downs. But you definitely get that old IGPX feeling when you're cracking down on Sledge Mama or dropping the hammer to pull out a photo finish. A word of warning, though. Watch out for White Snow's Puppet Master attack. What a load. Beat the whole game, and you get to face the rocket. And lose, probably. I may be biased, but I dig this game. Check it out if you're a fan of the show. Toonami gives IGPX for the PS2 a 7 out of 10. Drop it like it's hot.
Well, it took a while, but I finally got my mitts on Nintendo's new system. It's called the Wii. And when I say hands-on, I mean literally. You got your Wiimote and your nunchuck. They're the controllers. Now, the Wii's not really about graphics. It's introducing a new way to play games, and it's pretty dope. Starting out, you make your Mii and then set them to play. Out of the box, you get Wii Sports, which is, surprise, a bunch of sports games. Now, even though it comes with the Wii, don't be fooled. It's one of the best games out there. Now, otherwise, the Wii games worth talking about go like this. Rayman Raiding Rabbids is weird and will wear you out, but it's fun and great at Wii parties. It scores an 8. Elebits is Katamari meets Ghostbusters. In a good way, it scores an 8.5. WarioWare Smooth Moves is more weird Twitch minigames, which, on the Wii, equals great fun. It gets a 9.5. Metal Slug Anthology is every single Metal Slug game, all ready for Wii play. It also gets an 8. And the most anticipated game for the Wii, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It's way too complicated to go into here, but pick it up for sure. We give it a 9.5. Bottom line, if you're looking for some fun games and don't need the best graphics, grab a Wii and get ready to throw your hands in the air, baby.
Well, summer's here, and you know what that means. Good games are few and far between. Luckily, Forza Motorsport 2 for the 360 rolled in, and I'm ready to peel out. It's pretty much the Microsoft version of Gran Turismo, and that's not a bad thing. While Turismo leans a little more toward gearheads, Forza is more accessible to the average gamer and sacrifices nothing for the experts. You can limited slip yourself silly, because this game has all the adrenaline-fueled racing you can handle. With every kind of make and model, from American muscle to Italian race cars. Topped off with aftermarket upgrades, deep customization, and sweet car physics. Plus, the graphics are just insane. Look at that baby shine. So whether you want to plug and play, or see how you can get one more horse under your hood, this racer's the one for you. Toonami gives Forza Motorsport 2 a 9 out of 10. It takes more than a coat of paint to make it a Thunder Road. Only Toonami on Cartoon Network.
His name is Stone, and he's a tough cop with an attitude. Overdrive.
Man, that looks like a pretty sweet movie. And that's what Stuntman Ignition for the 360's all about. The movie biz. The stunt biz specifically. You start out as a wet behind-the-ears driver who's looking for some work.
I'm told this is your first time on a big set, so I'll walk you through how it works.
And as you progress through the game, you get called in on bigger and better movies, some stunt shows, and a little commercial work. Each movie has multiple scenes with multiple cars, and you get rated based on your performance. You have to pay close attention to your stunt coordinator. He tells you what you need to do.
Jump into the tower!
And then you do it. Sounds pretty simple, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of redos, especially if you're trying for 5 stars. To score the 5 rating, you have to link the whole stunt as one continuous trick. Get close to something, pull off a director's requested trick,
Turn left!
hit a time gate, anything. But you can't wait more than a few seconds between each trick, or you won't get full marks. And at the end of each level, you get to watch your skills in action with a trailer for each movie. All in all, it's a pretty fun game, but no going in. You'll probably have to do a scene over and over and over again. Or get to, depending on your outlook. Toonami gives Stuntman Ignition for the 360 an 8 out of 10. Action. I've been down with Mass Effect from the jump, so when Mass Effect 3 came out, I was all over it. You can't import your custom Shepard from the first game, which kinda sucks, but you can get him or her pretty close. Oh yeah, look at that sweet mug. The Earth is in trouble, and, spoiler alert, you're the only one who can save it.
We fight, or we die.
Your mission? Get all the different races to join your fight against the Reapers. Seems like maybe the galaxy would finally believe you, but they still take some convincing. Every time you get somebody on board, you're one step closer to survival.
We face our enemy together, and together we will defeat them.
BioWare put back in some of the RPG stuff they stripped out of Mass Effect 2, although it's still pretty basic. Don't worry though, because this game is all about the story. How you deal with people gives you Paragon or Renegade points. I like to use a little of both.
Drop me off someplace. Enough!
There's a ton of quests, big and small. Keeping track of the smaller ones can be a pain, but overall, this game is great. It looks amazing, sounds kick-ass. If you've played the other ones, your previous choices are sprinkled throughout the story. They don't let you roll with many of your friends from the last games, which is a bummer, but you do get some choices. And most importantly, you still get to hook up. I think if you're saving the galaxy, you should get 2 or 3, but they make you just pick one.
And I'm looking forward to talking about something other than business.
Admittedly, the ending is weak. They say there's a new ending coming out. But either way, the game's still totally worth playing. Toonami gives Mass Effect 3 an 8.5 out of 10. Someday, this war's gonna end.